All right, guys, we are going to be cracking open a tub, the final tub of Sovereign Vitality pre-workout, the world's best pre-workout. This is my final tub. I've been saving it. I've been planning on saving it for the rest of my life because this was our third pre-workout that I released, or third generation of pre-workouts that I released. We've released more than three, but the third version. And I've saved the previous two versions. So like the first ever pre-workout I made is like in a case, both those flavors. And then actually I don't even have the second version saved because I didn't like it. So I didn't want to save it. And then the third one I've liked a lot, but as you guys know, TikTok Shop stole my money, ran into a bunch of financial struggles, yada yada. Still have a lot to learn in the business world. So we stopped working on Sovereign a year and a half ago. But this has just been sitting around since, and I still love Sovereign, and I still think of Sovereign daily, and I still do a little bit of work on Sovereign all the time. It's like I can't shut it off. And I try my hardest to, and I try to tell myself to focus on the task at hand, which is my current job. And I think of that job even after work all the time, and I'm always working on that. Basically, I can't shut off like work in my brain, and whether that's because I'm single right now, or I don't know, but I gotta stay busy. And I think it's best to focus my attention on something that I believe can benefit me and others, instead of just scrolling on TikTok all day, you know, like, come on. But my philosophy is I've been asking God that if Sovereign is something I'm meant to pursue, that it will ultimately come back into my life. And I kind of have the philosophy that, you know, you're meant to enjoy life in the moment. And so what am I saving this pre-workout for? I'm going to be dead in 50 years. What good is this going to be just in 50 years? Like when I'm gone, like I'm going to use it. And so I think recently let's crack open this brew. And then if it's supposed to come back, then God will allow us to bring it back and better. And if not, that's completely okay, because we get to enjoy this lovely pre-workout right now. I need to set my phone somewhere so you guys can see me. Just use the car, it's a little dirty. But wow, haven't had this in a long time. This is actually my ex's pre-workout that I saved for her. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. But life's all about letting go and accepting what's new, accepting change. And sometimes for change to happen, you have to say goodbye. And so we're gonna be saying goodbye to this final tub of pre-workout. We're gonna give it our awareness, our attention. I'm gonna thank God for this pre-workout, for allowing me to get this divine workout in today. And we are going to add some creatine to this. And we are gonna sip. And we're gonna sip, we're gonna think about our great workout. We're gonna reflect on our work day, how the day went, you know, just give our attention to the things we want to give attention to, the things we want to improve. And so we got the I got it like stuck in another shaker right now. Holy crap. We got the OG Helix lid 1.0. Nobody has this except for me now, and maybe a few of you if you've stuck and hung on to your Helix lids. But this lid, guys, it's still my favorite version of it. And this one, it still doesn't leak for me, so let's give it a taste test, since it's been about 2 years since I've probably drank it. Oh yeah. It's light, it's juicy, it doesn't have that overly sweet taste, it's not sour, it's perfect. It's the perfect sipper. I encourage you guys to be sipping on your pre as well. Go hit the gym. I'm getting a lot of thoughts in my head, and I want to say them to you guys, but sometimes I think it's best to keep them contained. That way I can let my thought process work itself out instead of talking, and I feel like sometimes that interrupts my thought process. We're essentially thinking about how symbolic I think this pre-workout is. I think that's what I'm coming to the conclusion to. And we're just going to drink it, and we're going to have a good time. It's a 10 out of 10. Stevia still has that slight bitter taste to it, so if I were to redo pre in the future, I'd want to do a combination of 2 natural sweeteners to kind of even out a tad. But I made do with what I could do on this pre-workout, and with the capabilities I had, I think I killed it. And I'm still super proud of myself for making this pre-workout, bringing it to market, despite it failing. I learned a lot. That's the video. I'm gonna upload this literally right now. That's how we're gonna do it.
She buries the skeletons like she's collecting them. Better lock up your skeletons, throw away everything. This real life, so don't wait. The time's now, so don't fake. We all just stuck here in one place, just trying to figure out what it's gonna take. We all just stuck here in one place, just trying to change the future for our own sake. Baby, open up your eyes, for it's too late. For it's too late. For it's too late. For it's too late. Sometimes when she goes to sleep, she feels like not waking up. She feels like she's in so deep that she'll never make it out. All the mistakes that she made, she just think about. Probably the reason that she ain't been sleeping now. Drowning with liquor and spend every weekend out. Only way she knows to quiet those demons now. So don't let them talk to you. Soon them voices will sound very far from you. Trust me, girl, because soon they won't bother you. I'm familiar with them demons inside of you.
All right, we just had crazy chest bump. We were doing muscle ups. We were doing, I'm sure it's a decent workout. But let's think what we're doing tonight. Big thing for me, I'm still in sovereign debt. I still owe money on our credit card because once TikTok Shop took our money, I thought I was the man. And I'm like, we don't need the money. We can make 12 grand doing other releases, clothing. Then I then I did 3 releases after that and failed miserably. Yeah, like there's not much to it other than that. Maybe one of the drops made my money back. The other 2 definitely did not. And was spending around 3 to 4K on each clothing item. And so, yeah, so once TikTok Shop took our money, then I was already low on money, and last-ditch effort was like, let's put everything into clothing and try to do that. And I ended up self-funding with money I was working from the gym and lost it. And law of holes, when you're in a hole, stop digging. That's been on our website for the longest time now because our website is closed. To today, I am ready to freaking work. I'm ready to grind. I'm ready. I spent a year and a half not really focusing on Sovereign, just trying to get it to where something I didn't have to stress about, because it was the most stressful thing in my entire life. There's no worse feeling than being 15K in debt at 20, getting fresh out of college. Like, it sucks. It's numbing. And not only that, but at the same time, I don't think I was in the best place mentally, blah, yada, yada, yada. We got to work hard. That's what works in this world. That's what God continues to tell us. If you want something, you need to be willing to work for it. Regardless of how long it takes or how hard it really is. You are supposed to suffer, or you are meant to suffer. And I think for the longest time, I thought Sovereign was going to be this super easy, put in hard work, but when I want to put in hard work, it's kind of like the gym. It's when you're bulking, when you're bulking, it's real easy to hit the gym. It's real hard to hit the gym when you're cut down, you got no food in your body, you feel like crap, you're not as strong, then you still got to show up, because otherwise you're going to start losing muscle. So same analogy, I got to show up regardless whether I want to or not, or I'm going to lose it. That's how I believe God works. He puts things in your life, and if you don't take care of them, they're gone. So we are training a client. If you guys didn't know, I have my NASM certificate, personal trainer from my last job. We were the manager at the gym. And so we have a client that we are training twice a week. That's going to bring us an extra $500 to $600 monthly. That will help me tremendously with my Sovereign credit card payment. And not only that, if you guys didn't know, we've tried a lot of different entrepreneurial things. One of those things is an Etsy shop that we probably launched 4 years ago in college to help get us some money during like Christmas time. So we put up some listings and run some ads and make some money during the Christmas season when I was really, really broke. And I think that I didn't do it last year. And I think it's something I want to do this weekend and get back up. The shop's still live, but it's not going to generate any revenue unless I put in some work into it. So I think that's when I'm going to go home. It's a Friday night, which is at the gym. Best time to hit the gym is Friday night. Friday, Saturday nights, nobody's there. And we're going to go home. We're going to work on this Etsy shop because it's November. We got Christmas season coming up. I think Christmas coming up, we can generate ourselves a nice $3,000 to $5,000 within that month, and that would be truly really, 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 really helpful. And so we're gonna do that this weekend. We are training our client on Sunday morning, and we're just trying to find other things that we can potentially do. The hardest thing for me is deciding what to focus on. And I feel like God is telling me to, you've built this, and I always get I haven't gotten a notification for my Etsy shop in a while, and usually, basically as of recently, it's been popping back up in my mind and even physically on my phone, randomly. And so I've been praying about it, and I think it's something I'm supposed to do again. So we're gonna do that. And we're going to train the client, and we're going to show God that we're willing to work for the things we want, because he knows you better than you know yourself. And you got to know that you're willing to work for it. You got to know. You just do. And so you have to instill that confidence that you got this. Like, you are going to work hard for it no matter how much it sucks. And the good thing is, I think a lot of us have already been through usually the toughest part of our lives. Like, I think my childhood, I can relate a lot of the things. Like, I don't think I struggle with pain and suffering as much as I used to in the past, is what I'm trying to say. Not that my childhood was hard or anything, but, playing sports your entire childhood, that instills, I believe, a level of discipline, especially football, that a lot of people probably don't get by playing sports. And that's, I think, the biggest advantage, I believe, to especially team sports. I think it instills a lot of great qualities. And so that was pretty much showing up to things I did not want to do as a kid. As a child, you're kind of forced to do the things you don't want to do. You really don't have a choice, and that's the hardest thing about becoming an adult, is you do have that free will. You can decide to not do it. You can decide to be lazy. You can decide not to do all the things that you're supposed to be doing. But what's going to happen when you do that is your life and your quality of life is slowly going to slip away, and you're gonna notice it. You're gonna start getting unlucky, or you're gonna start getting angry or more emotional, and usually bad things will actually start happening to you, and you'll feel like it's not your fault. But at a certain point, you have to learn to take control of everything that happens to you. For instance, a few weeks ago, I was just what felt like the unluckiest man alive. I was going on a cruise. I forgot my passport, had to turn around, added another 4 hours to my driving trip to St. Simon's. That sucked. Within that same week, my car broke down, and I thought I was going to be stuck in St. Simon's, and I had no way to get back. So I thought I was going to have to leave my car in the shop for 2 weeks and have no car and no way to get to my job. So that happened. Then I got in an accident. I rear-ended somebody. That sucked. Then, oh my gosh, I ran a red light. This was before the accident. I ended up running a red light 2 months ago. But because I went on the cruise, the second I got back from the cruise, the Monday after, lo and behold, that's my court date. I totally forgot. So I missed my court date. A lot of bad things happened within the span of 2 to 3 weeks. And I was asking myself, am I unlucky? And I genuinely thought I was. Not my fault. And then I decided to ask God, is there anything you would like to show me with these things? And all of a sudden, I'm told, maybe it's just you. Maybe it's me. And then for the first time, I thought, maybe I'm just being a little careless. Maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so what did I start doing? Okay, well, this is not good, but we stopped being distracted while driving. Gonna work on that a little bit more. We're not gonna, in fact, now that we're aware of that, we're not gonna record while we're driving anymore. We are in a parking lot in my apartment complex, but still. So we took that initiative because I rear-ended him while reaching back for some pre-workout. So I had to take control. Passport, okay, basically we started writing everything down. I stopped journaling as much, and I made that my initiative. We're picking the journal back up. We're writing down everything important happening in my life, because I can't miss those things, because I'm only hurting myself. And why would I want to do that? In a world where I want to be the best version of myself possible, why shoot myself in the foot? So we just decided, all right, it's probably our fault. We're probably not paying attention to things. We need to buckle down and just be more aware. And that's what we decided to do. And I think it took a few unlucky situations happening to me in order to do it. And sadly, that's usually how the world and people and things happen and change, is it usually requires a little bit of pain. A little bit of suffering, a little bit of hurt for you to decide, I think I want something better, and for you to make the decision to make it better. So, we're going to go inside. We're going to eat our leftover chicken because we're on a cut. Chicken breast. We're going to work on our candles. We're going to chill tonight. It's a relaxing night. It's a Friday, so we're going to sit on the couch. We're going to put something on the television. We're going to have a good time. We're going to relax. We're going to work on some stuff. And we'll see what happens. That's the one thing is like the results, and this is something I've gotten better with over time, out of my control. Out of my control. You cannot control the result of your hard work. What you can control is your hard work itself. So, I'm going to put in my best effort tonight. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to probably do like 2-3 hours of actual working on the computer. I honestly just have to, a lot of graphics with the Etsy listings, and then making Etsy listings, which is all like SEO stuff, marketing stuff, all stuff that is at this point second nature. So we're going to do that. And yeah, and I guess I just hope you guys, sometimes I feel like I ramble a lot, and I don't know if anyone actually is gaining anything from what I say. And I feel like sometimes I'm just supposed to stop talking. But I feel like that's another thing I've been trying to work on, is that confidence of being able to share my thoughts and opinions, because my confidence, frankly, has, especially following a breakup, which was a really pivotal point in my life, because it was frankly my fault, actually completely my fault. And so that changed a lot of things in my life. And yeah, I think it's just important to be the best person you can possibly be, always be changing, always be moving forward, and just loving one another and helping out, and I think just showing love. Sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of a lack of love in this world, and I think it starts with yourself. So if you want something out in the world, I think you got to put it out there. And so here's me just putting that good energy out to you guys. Hope you guys, whatever you're going through in your life, you're able to keep getting after it and get through it, because I know you can. That's the biggest thing I realized by all those unlucky events. I had a lot of revelations during this time, because I was thinking, like, what the heck is happening to me? Because it all started happening at once. And yeah, so it all, I don't even know what I was trying to say, but I lost my train of thought. I'm a rambler, guys. Okay, update. We've been working on the website. We've been just chilling right here. But we decided to hit up one of our buddies to edit this video. I hate editing YouTube videos, and I started talking way more towards the end of this video. And I know if posting on YouTube is something that I want to do on a weekly basis, which I do, I would love to. I don't want to be editing on a weekly basis. That's for certain. So I'm hitting up one of my friends who lives in Brazil, who's, frankly, he's been trying to get out of Brazil for the longest time. Financial struggles happen, there's a whole other world out there. So he's always been looking for remote work, and he's been working with other influencers and stuff. That's how we met, is I guess he followed a bunch of fitness influencers, ended up DMing me. We ended up talking about connecting about God and things of that sort. And yeah, his name's Lucas. So I think we're going to get him to edit the video, because I'm sure he would love to work that job, and I frankly would love to pay him for it. And I'm making some extra money personal training. I wouldn't like to spend all of it, because we started personal training so we could start saving money. But I think YouTube can be a catalyst for growth. But I only think it can be a catalyst for growth if we're consistent with it. So I'm thinking maybe if we It takes an hour or two a week, $20 to $40 weekly. I should be making more than that personal training. I should be making around $200 weekly personal training. So we can do that, and it should be scalable. And so yeah, meet Lucas. He's gonna be editing this video. This video is now uploaded. Thank you, Lucas.